I love the way you kiss, the way you run. I love the way we breathe just with a while. I love the way you call me little child, and I will never let you go. You love the way I touch your skin with mine. We're in the skies, but can't get much more higher. You love it.
Sometimes you just have to be a kid to be alive, to enjoy the joy of being a kid, just being on the playground and playing a little bit. Of course, a little weird if there's like children around, but just alone on the playground, great time. Since I'm traveling around in Munich, I've been staying with friends, and today was one of those moving days. Sadly, I did not capture the whole move process, which could have been like a fun little story from bed to bed or something like that. But it kind of showed me something that is the struggle of doing those videos. I already mentioned in a previous video that I have found a new kind of appreciation for the people who upload daily videos or do daily videos, especially for the daily vloggers like Lewis Cole or, for example, Casey Neistat. It's just so much work to actually get all those angles, to get all those shots. You're constantly running back and forth because you place your camera somewhere and then you walked past it or something like that. So it's a lot of work, and if you're having stress, then it's even harder because then you don't really have the time to do all those things. So it's needed to have much more preparation, much more thought into when to leave, and that you actually have a kind of a buffer to make all those shots work. For me, the whole process is kind of fun, and it's actually kind of an experiment. It's finding new angles, it's finding more creativity, creating every day and doing so with some new ideas and thoughts. Also putting myself out there and kind of exploring my comfort zone or going outside of my comfort zone to put up a camera in the middle of some kind of park and just talk to the camera. Side note, I've been traveling to Berlin recently, and I talked about that. It's really nice that they have all those parks and green areas, and you can walk around. It's almost like a forest. Now, being in Munich for some time, I explored a couple parks and forest-like situations as well, and I have to say they are kind of like, they are pretty similar in that regard if you are in the right area. Here in Munich I have the feeling that it's much more grass, fields more or less. You can just lay down, have some fun, play volleyball if you have like a field, or you ask some people. And also I met some guys who are slackliners, and I just joined them slacklining. So that's really a great thing that this kind of city provides. It has many young people, and I'm really enjoying my time here. Side note aside, going back to the whole creativity process, it is a daily struggle to put out these videos and create them, and to sit down and to explore the comfort zone and get outside of the comfort zone. But then again, it's also the place where the magic happens. The magic happens outside of the comfort zone, and you never know what this kind of new idea or this next video will bring to you. What kind of comments, what kind of connections, and what could happen, you never know. In all of this creating and sharing, it's even more beautiful to see that there are more than 200 people now on this channel, and also on my Instagram account there's a couple thousand people as well. So people who are watching what I create, seeing what I create, and that kind of gives me the question, what do you create? Are you a writer and have a blog or a published book? Do you have music online? Do you create some apps or online services? Or are you still in school or university? Please link your profiles down below in the comments so I can check them out and we can maybe have a chat or something. I'm really curious to see what you are creating, and yeah, that we can kind of share this journey together, because eventually it's the place where if you put yourself out there, it's the kind of moment where you can actually meet someone else, where people can notice you and you can talk about your art, and then you can get feedback and grow. You can find creative inspiration, you can find critics, you can find good feedback, and you can find friends on those kind of areas, maybe even customers if you are selling something. So please leave your info in the comments down below, if it's a website, if it's a blog, if it's a music profile on SoundCloud, or maybe your Instagram account. Just leave a link in the comments down below, and then we can have a conversation and maybe do something together at some point. And talking about all this creative stuff, I just remembered that I also listened to an audiobook kind of thing by Jocko WIllink, and it's called Psychological Warfare. And it's not your normal audiobook story-like stuff. It's more of a motivational, inspirational, and just powerful talking. He has a really good voice, at least for my taste. It's a powerful voice, and he doesn't he just gets you moving, he gets you out there. And he also has one specific track about creating and creating more, and just doing the work, putting in the work, and actually doing the stuff. Because as long as you just have the ideas and you only, maybe you even created the piece in private but you never shared it, actually you can't have an impact. You can only have the impact on yourself, and if that's enough for you, it's a beautiful thing. But if you actually want to have people see it, you obviously have to also publish it. And the publishing part is, at least for me, one of the hardest things. And listening to Jocko talk about this process and talk about how the putting it out there actually is kind of the work, and to just jump over your own shadow and to put yourself out there to create and see what happens, and see how the critics will be, how the feedback will be, and how the connections also will be. So I will link in the description below to Spotify, to Google Music and Apple Music. You can listen to it for free if you have the subscription, and you can obviously also buy the tracks or the album. But it's a whole album, which is not really an audiobook. It's much shorter. It's around 40 or 50 minutes in total. It's about getting up early. It's about going to the gym. It's about creating more and putting in the work and actually doing what you want to do. Procrastination is also a big part of his message in that, and the fight with procrastination. But it's not really a feel-good thing. It's psychological warfare. So he is actually a United States veteran. So he is a kind of a powerful and energetic voice. So I really like to listen to him over again, and maybe not daily, maybe even not weekly, but every so often I really like to jump into his messaging and listen to the powerful message and get motivated by that. So you can check that out in the description. I have the links down below, and let me know what you think about that as well. It's always interesting what other people use to get motivated, what videos do you watch, and similar. But I also have mentioned in a blog post recently that it's good to have your go-to motivators. So if you have 1 or 2 videos that motivate you, or if you have, for example, if you really like this audiobook kind of thing by Jocko, so if you have 1 or 2 motivational videos, or you really like the audiobook by Jocko, just download those things on your phone or on your computer, and then listen to them over and over and over again. Because every time if you search for a new motivational video, you're actually kind of procrastinating already, right? So if you have your go-to stuff, you know, I have these 2 videos and then I have the Jocko audiobook, just go to these things, just put those on your phone, have them downloaded. You don't need internet for it, you can do it in airplane mode. You can just pick your phone up, listen to it, get motivated. You don't have to search for anything or anything like that, because nowadays we have just way too many options to choose from, and I think it's a very powerful thing to have just those 2 or 3 things you go to over and over and over again. So with that said, I will finish today's video. It's been great talking to you, and I am looking forward to seeing your comments in the description below. So let's just enjoy this journey together, make it your life, enjoy the day, the beautiful sun and the summer, at least here in Germany, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.